So you just picked up your Tesla, you drove it home, and now you're sitting in your garage wondering what the hell you're supposed to do with this thing. There's no owner's manual the size of a phone book like you're used to. There's no complicated startup sequence, but there are about 10 things you need to set up right now if you want to avoid headaches later. I learned most of these the hard way, so let me save you the trouble. First thing, and I mean the very first thing you should do before you even back out of the delivery center, is set up your driver profile properly. The Tesla delivery guy is going to rush through this part because he's got 6 more deliveries that day. Don't let him. Take your time here. You're going to tap on the driver icon at the top left of the screen, create a new profile with your name, and then link it to your phone key. But here's what nobody tells you. Once you create that profile, you need to adjust everything to exactly how you want it before you link your phone. Move the seat, adjust the mirrors, tilt the steering wheel, set your climate preferences, even log into your Spotify account. Every single setting you change gets saved to that profile. When you get back in the car tomorrow with your phone in your pocket, the car will recognize you, and everything will adjust automatically. Your wife gets in with her phone, and everything switches to her settings. It sounds simple, but I've watched 3 different friends skip this step and then complain for weeks that their seat position keeps changing. Second, create a guest profile right now. You're going to want to show off your new car. Your brother-in-law is going to want to drive it. Your buddy from the golf course is going to beg you for a test drive. If you let them use your profile, they're going to mess with your settings. I let my neighbor take my car around the block, and he cranked the regenerative braking to maximum because he thought it was fun. Took me 20 minutes to figure out why my car was braking so hard every time I let off the accelerator. Guest profile keeps all your settings locked and gives them a clean slate to play with. Number 3. Set up your home charging right away, even if you don't plan to use it tonight. You need some way to charge at home. You don't need to spend $3,000 on a wall connector unless you're driving 200 miles a day. The mobile connector that comes with the car works fine for most people. If you have a 240-volt outlet in your garage, the kind your dryer uses, you can get an adapter for about $50 and charge at about 30 miles of range per hour. That's plenty if you're plugging in overnight. I have a neighbor who insisted he'd just use superchargers because there's one 10 minutes away. 3 months later, he's complaining about how inconvenient it is to sit at a charging station twice a week. Your car should charge while you sleep, just like your phone. If you only have a regular 120-volt outlet, that's fine too. You'll get about 3 to 4 miles of range per hour, which is enough if you're retired or working from home and not driving 60 miles a day. Fourth thing, and this one is critical, turn on Sentry mode and set it to exclude your home. Sentry mode uses the car's cameras to record everything that happens around your car when it's parked. Someone dings your door in a parking lot. You've got video evidence with their license plate. Someone breaks a window. You've got their face on camera. I've had my Tesla for 2 years, and Sentry mode has saved me twice. Once at the grocery store when someone backed into my rear bumper, and once in a parking garage when some idiot keyed my door walking past. Both times, I had clear video, filed insurance claims, and didn't pay a dime out of pocket. The catch is that Sentry mode uses about 1 mile of range per hour, so you want to turn it off when you're at home. Go into the settings, find Sentry mode, and add your home address to the excluded locations. That way, it runs everywhere except your own driveway. The fifth thing you need to do is add your credit card information to the Tesla app before you need to charge at a supercharger. When you pull into a supercharger station, you just plug in, and the charging starts automatically. The car recognizes which stall you're using, and it bills your account when you're done. But if you don't have a payment method set up, you're going to be standing there in the rain trying to add your credit card on your phone while other people are waiting for your spot. Takes 2 minutes to set up now. Saves you a lot of frustration later. While you're in the app, poke around a bit. You can lock and unlock your car from anywhere, Turn on the climate control before you get in. Check your charge level. Even watch the Sentry mode cameras live if you want to see what's happening around your parked car. Number 6. Connect your car to your home Wi-Fi. Your Tesla gets software updates constantly, and I mean actually constantly. Tesla pushed out 4 updates to my car in the last 3 months. These updates add new features, improve the range, fix bugs, make the autopilot better. You want these updates. The car can download them over cellular data, but it's much faster and more reliable over Wi-Fi. Pull into your garage, tap the Wi-Fi icon at the top of the screen, find your network, enter your password, and you're done. From now on, when Tesla releases an update, you'll get a notification on your phone around midnight. You tap Install, and when you wake up the next morning, your car has new features. It's like getting a new car every few months without spending any money. 7th, set your home and work addresses in the navigation system. This seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people skip it. When you set these addresses, they save to your driver profile. Now you can just tap the home button or the work button on the screen, and the navigation starts automatically. You can also add favorite locations. Go to Navigation, type in your golf course, or your buddy's house, or wherever you go regularly. Tap the star icon, and it gets saved to your favorites. Makes life a lot easier when you're not fumbling with the screen trying to type an address while you're sitting in a parking lot. Here's number 8, and this one is going to save you money. Schedule your charging for off-peak hours. Most power companies charge less for electricity late at night, usually after 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. My rate during the day is 24 cents per kilowatt hour. After 10 p.m., it drops to 9 cents. That's a huge difference. If you charge your car during the day, a full charge might cost you $15. Same charge at night costs $6. Over a year, that adds up to real money. Go into your car's charging settings, set a scheduled departure time for when you usually leave in the morning, and the car will automatically start charging late at night when the rates are cheaper. It will still be fully charged and warmed up by the time you leave. You don't have to think about it. It just happens. Number 9. Take some time to set up your autopilot settings. Every new Tesla comes with basic autopilot included. That's the system that keeps you in your lane and maintains a safe distance from the car in front of you on the highway. Some of you might have paid for the full self-driving package, which does a lot more. Either way, you need to go into the autopilot settings and customize how aggressive or conservative you want the system to be. There's a setting for following distance. I keep mine on 3 or 4 car lengths because I'm not in a hurry and I like a buffer. There's a setting for how quickly it accelerates and how hard it brakes. Start with the mild settings, get comfortable with how the system works, and then adjust from there. I've seen too many new owners turn on autopilot for the first time with everything set to aggressive, and it scares them so much they never use it again. That's a shame because autopilot, when set up right, makes highway driving so much less tiring. The 10th thing, and this is more of a tip than a requirement, is to clean up your app menu on the touchscreen. Your Tesla comes loaded with every music streaming service that exists, including stuff you've never heard of and will never use. TuneIn Radio, Tidal, Slacker. I have no idea what half of these are. If you only use Spotify, and maybe the radio, go into your settings, find the media options, and turn off everything you don't use. Look, I know this seems like a lot to digest, especially if you're coming from a regular car where you just got in, turned the key, and drove. But trust me, spending an hour setting these things up now will make the next 5 years of ownership so much better. You'll avoid problems, save money, and actually enjoy all the features you paid for. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments what other Tesla topics you want me to cover. Hit subscribe if you want more practical Tesla advice without the hype. I'll see you in the next one.